Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Wings. I'm Johan Castell, bringing you the first episode of 2024 from Sweden. As we kickstart the journey of 2024, we bring you a story of how different cultures around the world bring in the new year. We look at some unique festivals recently celebrated in India and Nepal. And we tell you about some thrilling and unusual things that you can do this holiday season. Let's start. From Auckland to New York, we recently saw how countries around the world bid adieu to 2023 and rang in the new year. But have you ever wondered how countries around the world celebrate the new year? Our next story explores just that.
Spellbinding fireworks with cheerful gatherings people worldwide bring in the new year on January 1st. But what other days and ways mark the start of a fresh year for others around the world? Let's find out. India is a land of many subcultures which all uniquely bring in the new year. For many of these cultures, it mostly falls in March and April. Different regions in India have their own names and customs for these celebrations. For instance, in northern India, the new year coincides with Baisakhi, a harvest festival celebrated with folk dance and songs. In western India, especially Gujarat, it's observed on the day after Diwali, the festival of lights, and is known as Bestu Varas. Maharashtra celebrates it as Gudi Padwa, while further down, some southern Indian states welcome the new year as Ugadi or Puthandu. In the northeastern part of the country, Assam celebrates Rongali or Bohag Bihu, a harvest festival marking the beginning of the Assamese New Year. Let's see how other cultures and countries mark the start of a new year. Nowruz marks the first day of the Iranian calendar and usually falls around March 20th every year. Translating to New Day literally in Persian, Nowruz also celebrates the first day of spring and the renewal of nature. People around the world enjoy the day with full enthusiasm. Poetry is recited, bonfires are lit, and folk music is performed to mark the overcoming of darkness. It's a time for family gatherings, feasts, street festivals, and affirmation of life in harmony with nature. In Thailand, Songkran marks the traditional start of the new year. It falls around mid-April after the rice harvest and is one of the most important events in the Buddhist calendar. Pouring water is significant during Songkran, symbolizing spiritual cleansing and good fortune. So people celebrate by offering water to Buddha statues and praying for his blessings. On a more fun note, people splash water on each other on the streets, often using water guns. Songkran is a time to symbolically wash away misfortunes and pray for prosperity in the coming year. Jews worldwide welcome the new year on Rosh Hashanah, which falls at the end of October. It is celebrated with self-reflection and prayer, so people mostly spend it praying in the synagogues or at home. Everyone feasts on special food like pomegranates and apples dipped in honey, which symbolize the hope of a sweet year to come. During this time, a traditional horn called a shofar is also blown in synagogues, calling on Jews to observe repentance. China brings in the new year on the date of the first new moon of their lunar calendar. It falls between January 21st and February 20th, and the celebrations continue for about 2 weeks. Everyone celebrates this time with much joy and excitement, from the young to the old. Fireworks are lit to ward away evil spirits, lanterns are released into the sky, and sweet treats are prepared and relished with loved ones. The new year is thus ushered in with hopes of luck and prosperity.
Have you ever heard of a beauty contest for elephants? Did you know that in Kashmir there's a festival to welcome winter? Up next, we bring you some unique festivals from India and Nepal.
Each year, some very peculiar festivals dot our global calendar. Many of these are rooted in tradition and remain a meaningful part of the local culture. Let's start with some interesting festivals we saw around this time in India. First up is the beautiful city of Shimla in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The villagers living around the area recently organized Thoda, a unique centuries-old bow and arrow sport. A martial art form of the Indian archery, it combines the elements of dance and music in dynamic displays. The teams assembled in a small ground and danced and sang songs to please the deity. They also challenged each other in a competitive archery game. And do you know that this peculiar festival, organized to please the Hindu god Vishnu, is over 100 years old?
This tradition is very old, and as per our ancestors, it's been organized here for the last 122 years. The Thoda tradition is associated with Hindu deity Narsingh.
Next is the scenic city of Srinagar in the territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which recently celebrated the death anniversary of a local Sufi saint. This bright and joyful annual festival was held at the Saint Mia Shah Sahib Shrine and was attended by scores of local residents. While some excited attendees threw firecrackers across a stream at dusk, others peacefully lit small earthen lamps. This spiritual festival also coincides with the beginning of Chilai Kalan, the coldest period of Kashmiri winters. It refers to the 40-day harshest winter period in the state, when a cold wave grips the entire region and temperatures drop even below zero.
Today is the Urs, or the death anniversary of Mia Shah Sahib. As soon as the Chilai Kalan, the coldest period of Kashmiri winter starts, we celebrate the Urs. This tradition has been going on since the time of my forefathers, and it still continues today. Even back then, young boys used to play with crackers on this occasion.
Elephants are everywhere at this delightful festival recently held in Nepal. The festivals of Tuskers, locally called Hathi Mahotsav and translated simply to the Elephant Festival, was held in the tourist town of Sauraha. Hundreds of onlookers were left spellbound at this much popular annual event by a caravan of decorated elephants. While the women danced to folk tunes, the Mahots, or the elephant riders, gracefully paraded these stunning giants.
The environment is joyous. The festival features various sports involving elephants. The event reflects the respect and care for these magnificent animals, which gives us pleasure.
The festival was just about pampering these adorable animals. At least a dozen capricine elephants walked on tippy toes in a special beauty contest with colorful patterns scattered all over them. They were also spoiled with delicacies like porridge and their all-time favorite stacks of sugarcane. Locals celebrate these gentle giants with this unique tradition. They revere them as manifestations of Lord Ganesh, the Hindu god depicted with an elephant's head. These domesticated tuskers are owned by the Chitwan National Park, and at the festival they have a field day enjoying themselves.
The holiday season is upon us, and we've got you covered. If you are an adventure enthusiast, get ready to set your itinerary. Find out if these adventure activities are on your bucket list or not.
Christmas and New Year transform the winter holiday season into a big, cheerful celebration. But for those who also want to spend it differently, we bring you some daring and unusual experiences you can try out these holidays. This is the Baltic Sea near the Arctic Circle, which is completely ice-packed around this time. But some adventurous tourists are making the most of it by swimming in these frozen waters. This chilling experience is part of a mini cruise which is growing greatly in popularity. Tourists are booking day cruises on board icebreaker boats to get a taste of polar expeditions. The cruise departs from the Swedish side of the border with Finland. Tourists aboard get to admire the stunning icy views from the main deck. The temperatures can drop to a blood-freezing -22 degrees Celsius. But for some, even this is not cold enough not to go swimming in thick rubber suits.
Normally everyone swims. Even people are not considering in the beginning. They think, no, that's not for me, it's too scary, too dangerous, too cold. When they see, they understand that it's not scary at all. And everyone, you don't have to have swimming skills. You cannot drown in these suits. And they're very warm. We're dressing them over the normal clothes. It's not a bikini. So you put it on even in your upper clothes.
Guests can also stroll on the frozen ice fields for an unforgettable Arctic experience. Let's go to China's Inner Mongolia region, where snow sports attract many adventurists. The 6th edition of the popular Winter Heroes Games kicked off in Hulunbuir city recently. Top snowmobile and off-road racers from across China gathered at the venue to experience the thrill of winter sports. And even though the ground is covered in snow and the temperatures hit -30 degrees Celsius, nothing seems to stop the participants' passion for adventure. Thrilling sports events like Short Track Rally, National Cross Country Snowmobile Challenge, and an Ice and Snow Experience Camp are some of the top favorites at these games. Tourists can also enjoy snowmobile racing and kart racing on ice.
It is mind-blowing. These games are a unique snow fest, offering visual and auditory excitement. Coming to Hulunbuir always allows people to experience this thrilling event.
Hulunbuir is a popular spot for its snowy landscapes, attracting tourists to enjoy the charm of winter. Set to continue until March 2024, we suggest you book tickets for these exciting Winter Heroes Games. This is Bali, the destination most loved for its beaches and nightlife. But for a more off-the-beaten-track experience, tourists can try this instead. The first of its kind on the island, travelers can book a stay inside an abandoned passenger plane, now transformed into a luxury villa. The private jet villa, situated on a cliff overlooking Yang Beach in Badung town, allows guests to enjoy sleeping in an actual cockpit. This unique idea came to Felix Demin, the villa's owner, when he spotted this obsolete plane and wanted to create a fresh holiday experience.
This is something special experience, what you can feel and enjoy staying inside of the plane, living super luxury on the edge of the cliff, 150 meters above the ocean. Is fantastic view, and we craft this experience for all small details so people can enjoy it, and something what they never heard in their experience, something new.
We now fly to Vienna, Austria for a story on the original snow globes that have been going strong for over 100 years since the first winter in a globe.
Snow globes hold a special place in people's hearts for several reasons, and their preciousness is often tied to the following factors. Nostalgia, symbolism of winter holidays, sentimental value, aesthetic appeal, and relaxation. Snow globes are often associated with fond memories, such as receiving one as a gift during childhood or purchasing one as a souvenir from a memorable trip. The swirling snow inside can evoke a sense of nostalgia, and they are commonly associated with winter and the holiday season. As the serene scenes often feature snow-covered landscapes or festive holiday settings, many people treasure snow globes as symbols of the magical atmosphere surrounding holidays and winter festivities. Now sold worldwide as souvenirs, let us show you where these aesthetic globes originated. This Austrian family has been making and selling snow globes for several generations. Selling to American presidents and a mention in Hollywood, the Percy family is all about spreading Christmas cheer. The family claims to have invented the snow globe more than a century ago, when Irvin Percy, the first medical instruments manufacturer, made the first snow globe by chance after experimenting with liquid-filled light bulbs. To this day, the small workshop of the Viennese Percy family remains a hive of snow globe production. Producing around 200,000 globes annually, 80% are exported overseas to markets like the US and Japan. How much does a genuine article set you back if you buy this as a souvenir? Prices vary according to size, starting at around €7 for small ones, up to €25 for 12 centimeter big ones. If you visit the city, we recommend picking one up, and it is one of the most iconic souvenirs available.
With major airport expansions and more flights dotting the skies, Southeast Asia is moving towards a travel boom. At the same time, India last month saw its highest air traffic. Asia has surely become an aviation hub.
Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Cambodia, and Indonesia are popularly loved for their cultural heritage, breathtaking natural beauty, and scenic beaches. The COVID-19 pandemic had both international travel and flying see a massive shutdown. But the industry looks bullish about bouncing back now, especially in Southeast Asia, which is emerging as an attractive tourism investment hotspot. In promising news for passionate travelers, several uplifting steps are all set to help tourism take off across the region. First, governments are splashing billions of dollars to update and expand airport infrastructure. Last year, a new terminal opened at Suvarnabhumi, Bangkok's main international airport, and a third runway is being built. Cambodia also has grand plans to make Phnom Penh's new $1.5 billion airport, which is set to open in 2025.
As I said, one of the game changers, but we need more in order to be comparable so that it can attract worldwide tourism to come to visit Siem Reap.
Another way countries attract more flyers is by giving visas on arrival, and Thailand recently joined their league too. It aims to boost members by extending this service to Chinese and Indian travelers, the two big customers benefiting the local travel industry. As evidenced by a flurry of big-ticket orders at last year's Dubai Air Show, even the global aviation industry is increasing its efforts. Airlines are expanding their operations too, making the region more flyer-friendly.
It was a wonderful experience altogether. Before there were no much options to fly from Dubai or from any other stations to Krabi. So now we have airlines like Fly Dubai flying direct from Dubai to Krabi.
Indonesia is also taking steps to ease its tourism sector's heavy dependence on Bali. It is planned to focus on developing 5 new super priority destinations, including Borobudur, the world's largest Buddhist temple. Lake Toba is a large lake in North Sumatra that sits in the caldera of a volcano, and Likupang in North Sulawesi is a popular diving and snorkeling site. With a massive investment of $1.2 billion into these attractive locations, Indonesia hopes to invite travelers for a wholesome experience. These travel trends seem to indicate that at large, Asians are becoming increasingly travel-friendly, and Indians are occupying the top lots here too. With a staggering 13.8 million flyers, the month of December in 2023 marked the highest ever air traffic in India. Domestic passengers saw a jump of 8.4% compared to December 2022, all owing to the year-end holidays in December with a shorter travel window. A whopping 445,000 passengers flew on average daily in December, compared to just 22,000 passengers per day in November 2023. It looks like Indian domestic traffic has successfully rebounded to pre-COVID levels and even beyond in 2023. And with the tourism boom taking over many parts of the South Asian region, we advise you to keep your travel plans ready.
That's all we have on the show today, but before we go, we leave you with visuals of the first flight to Ayodhya. We take you inside the international airport in Ayodhya that is now all set to welcome flyers before the grand opening of the Lord Ram Temple later this month. Take a look, and we'll see you next week. For now, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.
सबसे बढ़िया अयोध्या नगरी जहाँ राम जी है आपका देवी और सज्जनों, आप सभी का आभार और दिल से स्वागत इस ऐतिहासिक और अभिषेकात्मक इन दिनों की उड़ान संख्या 6E2128 पर जो दिल्ली अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे से महर्षि वाल्मीकि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे अयोध्या धाम तक है। जय श्री राम। शंकर सुवन के सभी चंद्रन तेज प्रताप महाराज।
Thank you.